That was a very funny song, Canadian Idiot. I hope it's not referring to anybody in this room.
The day is still young.
Do you have your mic there, camera 5? How's our camera 5 people doing? Where are they?
I got a microphone.
There they are.
I have a microphone. You know, if I have a microphone, I'm liable to talk into it, though.
Okay, good. Well, okay, great. Hey, we're here with Paula Citron now. I don't know if I can remember all the things I'm supposed to remember about how to introduce Paula, but she's the senior dance writer for the Globe and Mail. Is that right, Paula?
Yes.
And you're also the preview dance writer for Toronto Life.
Yes.
And you're, oh, what was the other thing?
Arts reviewer for Classical 96 FM.
Right. Is that owned by Moses Neimer?
It is.
Okay, there we go. So how's is all dance related? Is it all dance related or?
Well, no, because for the radio station, I cover anything I think our listeners would be interested in.
Right, in the arts.
Yeah, I basically cover dance, theater, opera.
Okay.
Classical.
So I guess how you came to be here today, you were at the Sex, Relationships, and Sometimes Love show.
Yes. And I reviewed it for the radio station, I guess.
And was it a good review?
You want to know something?
Yeah.
I don't remember.
Okay.
I see a lot of things.
Right.
But I only remember the really, really bad ones, so it's good that I can't remember.
That is a very good thing for them.
Well, this is good. What's the worst piece of art culture you've ever experienced? Do you recall?
Well, I can put a general thing.
Okay.
The worst thing, the thing that drives me the most crazy is what I would call Eurotrash. And Eurotrash comes out of Europe. It comes out of heavily subsidized theaters, so they don't have to worry about audiences. And it's totally self-indulgent on the part of the creator.
Okay.
And it is so navel-gazing, self-absorbed, faux philosophic, psychological, geopolitical, that it should be banned from the earth.
Is it mostly from France?
No, it's generally European. And actually, you can create Eurotrash here.
Oh, I was just going to say, because sometimes I think Canadian culture in general gets gets a lot of criticism for being all those things that you just described.
Then they haven't seen true Eurotrash.
Well, what is an example of the Eurotrash that you're talking about?
Eurotrash, I'm just thinking back to a piece by William Forsythe, who used to be the artistic director of the Frankfurt Ballet.
Mm-hmm.
And it needed about 5 or 6 pages of director's notes.
Mm-hmm.
You had people sitting on one side of the stage intoning sort of stream of consciousness text that had no relation to anything else. The movement on stage was incomprehensible, and together it was beyond tedium.
Yeah.
And he thought it spoke mountains of meaning, and I thought it was crap.
Really?
Yes, and so did everybody else. I'm very relieved to realize that. See, what's happening here is that, in all seriousness, the Atlantic is growing wider.
Okay.
It's like, I would say in 1950, people in Canada and the United States probably thought the same about fine art as Europe did.
Mm-hmm.
We understood the plays, we understood the theater, we understood the dance. But over the years, the Atlantic is getting wider, and the sensibility is really shifting. And I think that North American art is not as acceptable in Europe. I once sat beside a German critic who said, if it is any kind of scenery or any kind of inherent beauty, it's retro.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll give you an example. When James Kudelka's magnificent classic, I'll think of the name in a minute, but this dance piece was put on it was set on ballet, Stuttgart Ballet.
Mm-hmm.
And the German critics creamed it because it had beautiful costumes, beautiful music, and decor. It was about love relationships. This is so embarrassing because I know it as well as I know my own hand. Maybe I'm just a bit flustered because I'm here. And Reed Anderson, who used to be with the National Ballet and is now artistic director in Stuttgart, was just horrified because he thought that the German critics would love the piece as he did, which is why he wanted his company to have it. And James Kudelka has never really had a good success in Europe because he has many layers, many complications in his dance, incredible footwork, but it's dance, it moves, it uses the body to say things. And that's just one example.
So it's not, what you're saying is it's not far out enough, or that's probably the wrong term, but what you're saying is that Europe has gotten
More philosophical.
less in touch with the public?
I would think so.
Okay.
Absolutely. And but the audience is going with them. And the other thing that's happened really seriously is that festival mentality has taken over. And festival mentality is if you're a creator, you create a piece, theater, dance, of 1 hour because that's what festivals like. So you can slot it in an hour and the next hour and the next hour and the next hour. But sometimes you create material that doesn't have an hour in it. And Montreal was the first to hitch into this in terms of dance because they wanted to appear in the European festivals. And European festivals hate when you bring in a dance of 20 minutes, a dance of 10 minutes, and we're far more accommodating. And I think that, in a way, dance and theater has begun to lose out over here as people struggle to be recognized by the European presenters. So in Montreal, the bulk of the, and this isn't heresy, I mean, I'm saying it, I'm putting it out there, I think that the more established companies in Montreal have sold out to the European presenters, where Montreal dance used to be so inventive and so individual, and now you can take huge chunks from one piece and put it into another. And it just breaks my heart when I think about what Montreal creativity used to be.
Maybe it's because we're getting so close to the end of everything.
Yes, I heard your discussion beforehand.
Right?
I mean, the thing about the earthquake in Haiti being a conspiracy theory, I just find that unbelievable.
Apparently they can do that with harp now. They can create earthquakes at will.
Like harp, the musical instrument?
No.
The HAARP, it's a upper atmospheric experimental station in Alaska. All the conspiracy theorists know about it.
Well, there you go. I just know about dance and fine arts and performance.
So, you go.
Oh, okay. Thank
Yeah.
you. Okay. I just wanted to ask you a quick question is why dance?
Why dance? Well,
Yeah.
believe it or not, I used to dance, and I love it. It's the orphan of the arts. Dance is going to be the last thing that's going to win a place in a newspaper because it has the smallest audience in the arts. But when you think about it, it's the one that truly uses the body as an instrument. The total body is involved. And I think that you can create physical images that are so startling and speak volumes. I think it's almost the purest of the arts because it has no artifice, right? The body either does well or it doesn't. Whereas in theater, at opera, you can mask things. But dance is perhaps, for me, the purest form of the arts.
But you write about and more than just dance.
Oh, yeah.
Especially
I mean, I
for
actually
classical.
taught theater, so theater is really my strongest background. So I review theater and I review opera.
Just theater and opera, or do you do music, or do you do?
I do classical music as well.
painting,
No,
fine
I
art?
don't do visual arts. If it has to be a performing art
Okay.
that I do.
All right. So where do you think? No, we're talking. I mean, sort of joking, but only half joking about only 3 years left, and it's the end of everything. But people have said that about the arts, is that we are at the end of history, and that art there's nothing new under the sun. There's nothing new that's being created. Everything.
Right, Shakespeare
is
wrote
just-
12 plots and everybody's been using them ever since.
and he just picked those out of the ether. Anyway, he just
No, he
those are
got
just,
it from Greek and Roman literature.
Okay. Or maybe some would argue that those are just natural archetypes that are just going to emerge
Right.
on their own. But what do you think? And people are saying, everything is just being rehashed. It's like it's so hard to create something new. We've done it all. It's the end of history. As an art critic, what do you?
But you can do it all in a new way. I just saw a piece over the weekend called The Three-Man Project, Full Bloom. Believe it or not, it came out of Europe, but it was made by